Alright, back to this. Apologize if you can hear any noise in the background. It's because it's raining. It's actually perfect representation of the current point in the mod with the MC or whatnot. But yeah, I was actually pretty excited to get back to this because we left off at a really good. I'm pretty sure I say that at every I've said that for the past 3 or 4 parts where we left off at a good point, but we really did, right? I mean, I'm not even sure I really want to explain it. Yeah, we left off here. Ignoring this, I'm just gonna kind of wrap everything that's happened up. So I mean, we need to take into consideration, okay, yes, the MC failed, or at least by his standards. But ultimately, we need to ask, that's kind of irrelevant in a sense, because he still did make the best decision. There was no better answer than what he gave. The only other answer we could really consider was if you were going to lie and say oh, about Sayori, and then ultimately, given that Maka really didn't know, that would just of course you would avoid the temporary sort of embarrassment, or not even temporary, just immediate embarrassment of her reaction or whatnot, but you just cause problems later down the line. And this isn't even this isn't even taking into consideration, whether Sayori how she actually feels about the MC. But ultimately, because of the fact he straight up told her, he told Sayori that the poem was about Monica. So ultimately, if the MC told Monica oh, it was about Sayori or whatnot, that information would make its way to Sayori, and then Sayori would just confront the MC about that, even if she did have feelings towards the MC. Because this is completely irrelevant of whether or not he has feelings for or whether or not Sayori's feelings for the MC. Because if she didn't, then okay, yeah, she still just confronts him because she knows he was lying or whatnot. But if she did, that just makes it even worse. That's so. Even though he failed, presumably, it was still the best choice he could have made, given, not even gonna lie, he really did kind of put himself in that situation. And then obviously, it makes sense because they're going down Maka's route, right? And I'm actually starting to think that ultimately we don't get any more choices in the game, and that this is the only choice in the game. That's kind of disappointing, I'd say, but I mean, it also makes sense. I've said, the people who made this mod were very smart, so they likely just figured, oh, no point in making choices that don't really matter, or no point in trying to needlessly complicate it if you can just pick their route from the very beginning. But yeah, I guess in that case we need to rely on sort of the story or plot or whatnot to carry it, as opposed to whatever choices we can make. But yeah, because in a sense, it's actually good that they've limited the choices, because there are plenty of mods where you make choices that just straight up don't matter. Like Fallen Angel specific, that's just the most recent one, and I rag on it a lot. But you make choices, and then a couple or few sentences later, it's the same dialogue. There's no point in making a mod where your choices really don't matter that much. At least have a completely different sequence, even if it ultimately converges back on the same path. But the mod makers of this mod probably thought of that, and they're nah, let's not even try it, and then just give them their route straight up right here. But and as I was saying, given we were going Monica's route, I mean, this hold on, this was inevitable, right? Ultimately it had to happen. Granted, it happened very soon. It was this was what, Outcast. One of the positives of Fallen Angel is that they took a while to establish the relationship between the MC and Yuri until their confession or whatnot. And then Outcast just like that right out of the festival or whatnot. And that's kind of similar with this mod, where just the first opportunity the MC confesses or whatnot, as opposed to establishing some sort of relationship between him and Monica. But I assume my question here then is, how similar is this towards the other characters' routes or whatnot? Because how should I phrase this? What I'm not hoping for, or what I'm hoping this doesn't entail, is that, okay, let's say this sort of route is a copy-paste template for the other three characters. So if we were to have gone Sayori's route, it'd still be like the poem confession, same with Yuri and Natsuki, on top of the interaction we've had Sunday. That's what I'm not hoping for. I really don't hope it's just a copy-paste interaction, because obviously I'm kind of disappointed this is seeming like the only choice in the mod, but at least, like, hopefully each person's route isn't just copy-paste from another, just slightly changing it. That's not what I'm hoping for. And I guess we won't know that until we go another person's route, but so far it's seeming like it can just be copy-paste, right? Like, he just confesses by poem every single person's route. Like, this interaction happened. Well, obviously it'd be different, because, or at least if we were to go Sayori's route, because ultimately, here's what I think Sayori's route definitely has to be different, right? Given she's not sort of the supportive friend role as she is in the current route we're going. And then Yuri and Natsuki's route, those two routes are probably similar, just throwing it out there. But Sayori's and Monika's, we can kind of, like, anticipate being different given the roles they play or whatnot. But yeah, I mean, that's just kind of like an overview or wrap up, because we left off at a very good point last time, but because it's interesting, because you rarely ever play a mod where, like, they fail or whatnot, or, like, I guess, yeah, this is, like, definitely a failure on the part of the MC, or, like, he failed, or however you consider it. Most mods don't do that. They either just take time to establish, or take more time, however much time is needed to establish the relationship between Sayori and the other character or whatnot, or they just, you know, make it so they don't fail. But, like, yeah, this is really interesting, because now we're gonna have to see, like, what Sayori does here, because, again, sort of, we have a couple of things we're trying to figure out, right? Like, one, what happened with Yuri today? That's still something that, you know, is unanswered, and that should have raised concern that it didn't, or concern or suspicion. Like, no one, like, even acknowledged that, and that's an issue in and of itself. But then also whether or not Sayori's feelings for the MC, that's ultimately that's something that's not obvious. Like, I can see argument for and against it, right? So that's something we need to figure out. And I mean, given Sayori's current role, I guess, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. I mean, those are the two sort of side things we need to figure out, like, along with that aren't a part of, like, the main, you know, goal of, like, game with Monica or whatnot, right? So, how do I tell her this? Should I tell her this? Do we really get a choice now? Am I gonna, like, nah. I mean, but here's the thing, though, right? She already knows how he feels. So, I mean, there really isn't any point to keep that from her. Like, just throwing that out there. Like, granted, if she didn't know, like, how he felt about Monica, or if this was any other character besides Sayori, like, let's say it was Yuri or Natsuki, it wouldn't make sense for him to tell them. But given it's Sayori, and she already knows, and she's pretty much, like, sort of playing the role of the supportive friend, it makes sense to tell her. Like, I don't know why he's keeping that information from her. It really, like, doesn't make sense. I mean, she's probably got enough going on as is. I don't need to add to that. Well, I mean, because here's the thing, though. It's not normal to just lie down in your yard for an hour. Like, she's gonna wonder about that if you're just like, oh, no, it was just, like, normal, right? Like, she's gonna see through that. Just a long day. I need to relax, and I was too lazy to go inside. She's literally gonna be like, this is the worst excuse possible. Like, do you want to talk about it? I can come over if you want. Yeah, she's even like, is he sure? Like, did something happen? I mean, I assume she thinks something happened between him and Monica, right? At the very, like, if she's, like, assuming, right? Like, at the very most, like, she wouldn't know exactly what happened, but, like, if she took, like, let's say, the most logical assumption, it'd be, okay, yeah, maybe something involving Monica, given, like, he just revealed, or, well, not even just revealed it, but given she knows how he feels about her, right? But, I mean, yeah, like, the MC's not going to be able to hide it from her, and that's the issue. It doesn't make sense to, like, try. Like, you might as well just reveal, especially given her sort of role. Actually, that doesn't sound so bad. That would be appreciated. He's definitely going to spill the beans if she shows up. I mean, being 100% honest, like, he's not going to be able to keep that from her. Like, okay, I'll be there in a couple minutes. It's raining now. I tossed my phone aside, focused on the outside world through the window. Is your phone good, bro? Put on your best poker face. She can't know about this. Like, I really don't know what he expects. Like, the MC's judgment is absolutely terrible. He wrote the poem about Monica, and he's like, no one's gonna read this, right? And then, like, 10 seconds later, Monica read it. And now he's like, put on your best poker face. She can't know about this. I guarantee she's gonna figure out within the span of, like, the interaction, whatever interaction or whatnot. There's no way he keeps it from her or hides it from her. And it doesn't even make sense why he would to begin with, but there's just no way he's gonna be able to. Like, no way. Zero chance. 9 with determination. I see her coming down the street. There's just no way. No way. Knocking sound. Ryan's schedule. I mean, it wasn't even, like, scheduled, though. Like, it was literally just her showing up. I swing open the door, see an energetic Sayori on my doorstep. Hey, MC. Hey, Sayori, come in. Concern instantly covers her face. I mean, he's not going to be able to keep this from her. Like, throwing it out there, like, being 100% honest. Just straight up not a possibility. Not a possibility. Like, not going to happen. Like, I mean, he says this stuff, like, he's like, wait, what does he say? Where was the line or whatnot? Oh yeah, it's like, he's like, put on your best poker face. She can't know about this. Like, it's already, like, failing. Like, he's already, like, faltering. So what was it? Huh? What was what? Oh my god, it's like the play dumb but not that dumb moment. Like, he's like, huh? I don't know what you're talking about. Everything's fine. I wasn't just lying out for an hour in the front yard. Your poker face is terrible. I can tell something is wrong, MC. She even used the same wording. I mean, come on, like, there was no other way besides her figuring out, like, he can't hide, like, anything, really. Brilliant strategy. Any more bright ideas? Just, there's no reason for him to hide it, right? Like, there really isn't. If it was Natsuki or Yuri, different story, but given it's Sayori and she already knows how he feels, like, there's really no point in this, right? I think I did something wrong today. I mean, if he's gonna, like, try and vaguely describe the situation, it's just gonna be painfully obvious. If he's gonna be like, let's say, hypothetically speaking, I asked someone out, and then let's say, hypothetically speaking, they didn't, like, take it well or whatnot. It's literally gonna be something along those lines, is it? What do you mean? It's literally gonna be something along the lines of what I just said. Monica left with no explanation after he left the school. This is, like, the most vague thing in existence. Like, Sayori will be like, because of what? What happened? And he'll be like, what's so bad about, oh. She instantly comes to the obvious truth. Oh, so, yeah, because, here's the thing, though, because we need to remember, like, Monica, she ended the club early, and then every single one of the girls just, like, immediately left. So, like, there was some presumed, like, planning between them or whatnot. So, Sayori likely knew sort of where the conversation was going to go between the MC and Monica. So, normally, if she didn't have that prior sort of knowledge, like, this would make zero sense. But given she did, like, she could kind of fill in the blanks or the gaps or whatnot. So what will you do? Good question. Wallow in my sorrow. I don't know, honestly. I haven't talked to her since the end of the meeting. Well, I mean, text, right? Like, that... I mean, here's the thing. Like, unless just straight up he doesn't show up to the club, right? They're gonna have to see each other by tomorrow anyway. So, I mean, because it's not like Monica can't show up given she's the club leader, but, like, it comes down to whether the MC shows up or not. And if he does, they literally need to see each other by tomorrow. So it's not even, like, what they'll do. It's like, okay, how can I make things better in the span of one day? What happened then? So yeah, I mean, there's really no point to hide it. Like, I don't think he's gonna... Like, I don't think he can keep it from her. I really don't. She asked who it was about. I didn't want to tell her. Okay, so... Wait. But he did tell her. Is he really gonna, like, lie? Like, is he really gonna... I mean... Because at least Sayori knows it's about the poem. Like, at least she knows Sayori knows... Wait, what? Because did Sayori read the poem? I don't recall Sayori reading that, but I guess it's assuming that she did or whatnot, so... Because, yeah, he's clearly referring to the poem here. But he did tell her. Did you? Okay, yeah, so he basically spilled the beans. No. He's like, no, I said it was about... No, yes, of course. So, I mean, this is great plan on part of the MC. Whereas he's like, okay, put on your best poker face. She can't know about this. Says everything. Like, I mean, what happened? What everything we described. She just straight up got up and left. But I mean, yeah, again, that's what it comes down to, right? Like, it comes down to whether the MC shows up to club tomorrow, like whether or not he shows up. Because I mean, because then again, that gives us like sort of a deadline. It's like, okay, he needs to make things better in the span of one day. Like, no matter what, he'll see Monica by tomorrow. Let's see, she just started and ran off like a computer glitch or something. Like, please don't tell me they're gonna go the sentience route. They've already done a good job establishing like getting rid of the need for some sort of any sort of sentience or whatnot, given they've already hinted towards what could be considered an issue or problem he'll need to like fix regarding her sort of mentality or like her fixation on like her status, or like, what would you even call it, like status or just, I don't know, persona. She didn't say anything? No, she just texted me a bit later. I showed her my phone. I've never seen her that hesitant. Maybe you just call her off guard. Because again, I was saying like okay, so, oh yeah, so we already moved past that. I was saying that honestly, I thought she knew, like, who it was about, and she just wanted to get the MC to say it, but apparently she legitimately didn't, so I don't know what to do. Just trust that it'll work. You're good to me, so be good to her. I mean, yeah, because again, it all comes back to he's going to see her tomorrow if he goes to the club, right? Like, that's a guarantee. No buts. I gotta go. Good luck with all that. She's like, I'm gonna head out. You have my support. So he literally, within like a few minutes, like spilled all the beans, like spilled everything to her. I mean, thanks, Sayori. It means a lot. She storms out the door with a sense of urgency. That was weird, but hey, it helped. She may get in contact with Monica. Like, we need to take that into consideration, you know. But I mean, again, here's the thing. Like, I think, I don't know. I mean, they could be. I've said this before, the people who made this mod are really smart. They went about it really well. They could be having Sayori put on a facade. Like, this is the only mod, given what we've seen what happened, where I'd believe that this would be a facade. But any other mod, I'd say, okay, that's genuinely Sayori. But this mod, I'm saying, given how smart the mod makers appeared, like, this could genuinely be a facade, and we wouldn't know. Like, this is the only mod where I'd think that. Turn to my bag that sits on the couch. What's in it? Great. Schoolwork. I mean, yeah, again, I guess my sense of responsibility overcomes my laziness. Cracking open a binder, I begin. Jesus. But yeah, I mean, so at the end of the day, you know, because Monica needs to show up tomorrow. If she doesn't, then okay, that's just like her being a bitch or whatnot. Because like, even ignoring like let's look at this from Monica's perspective. She needs to show up, given she's the club leader, right? She can't just not show up because she got caught off guard by the MC. Like, that'd be the most selfish thing in existence. But I mean, the MC is the one who has the ability to decide whether or not to show up. And ultimately, if he chooses to, then like we said, they're going to have an interaction by tomorrow. So it's like, he has a day to make things better. About an hour passes before I finally finish the excessive work. Only an hour? Jesus. That's too much to be considered legal. That was at least 5 pages. An hour, that's actually not that much. I mean, like, even so, you can split that up into like 2 sets of 30 minutes or like 4 sets of, like, that's literally actually not that much work. The sun dims in the sky, nice falling. Well, I guess we know the MC like rarely has time though, so it's not like it actually is a lot of work in sort of his like shoes or whatnot. Because you know Monica's life revolves entirely around schoolwork, but the MC has like almost 0 time for schoolwork. So an hour of work, which would consider or comparatively be not that much to Monica, is a lot to the MC, given basically he has 0 time. He has like 0 spare time to actually put into schoolwork or whatnot. Sweet, I can finally justify falling asleep. Is that how it works, right? It's like balance, like balancing a schedule. The night is well upon me by the time I settle into my room. What'd you do wrong? Nothing. I mean, he made the best decision in that moment. Like, there was no better answer than what he gave. He just rolled the bad, like, he just got unlucky, or whatever you would call it. Like, because he needs to recognize that. Like, ultimately, like, he needs to be like, yeah, that sucked, but, like, I made the best decision in that situation. Like, because really there wasn't a better one, right? As usual, my mind won't let me just live something down. I must suffer. Wait, what? Should I text her? Like, I mean, I don't even know what the subconscious is gonna say tonight. It's gonna be like something weird. He's like, nah, it's probably best not to. I mean, in the morning maybe. Like here's what the MC should do, right? If anything, text her in the morning. See if she texts you during the night. Like, I swear, this thing never shuts up. Okay, so that is from her then. Because I just saw the ping and I'm like, yeah, it's definitely from her. Wait, it's not a text. Wait, what? Yuri's left. Listen, I've literally been saying this the whole time. Oh my god. Like, I've been saying this the whole time. I'm like, okay, Yuri didn't show up today. What was that all about, right? Like, no one acknowledged. Oh my. Literally. Like, and then this is just out of nowhere. Yuri's left the chat. I've been saying this the whole day. Yuri doesn't show up. Okay, that's a red flag in and of itself. Like, nobody acknowledging or like, nobody even acknowledging or like worried about or okay, that's another red flag. Like, what's going on with Yuri? I literally just said, like, before I even started playing through this, I'm like, okay, there's one of the side things we need to worry about is what's going on with Yuri. I mean, she didn't show up today. Nobody acknowledged that. Like, nobody seemed to even care or like worry. Like, okay, what's going on with Yuri? Something's happening there. Like, and that's something we need to think about and keep on our minds. And that on top of whether or not it's Yuri's feelings for the MC. And then now look at this. Like, now it's actually coming to fruition. Like, now it's actually coming to fruition with Yuri leaving the group chat. Like, if you leave a group chat, that's effectively quitting. Like, from someone in a lot of group chats. If you leave a group chat, you're basically quitting. Like, So this is Yuri's effective resignation from the club. So this, okay, so now the MC is a lot on his plate. One, he has to deal with Monica, right? Two, he should, well, he doesn't know this, but we still need to figure out whether or not Sayori's feelings were us. If this was any other mod, I would say no, she's like being genuine. But the mod makers are smart. I mean, like, look at this. This shows how smart the mod makers are. It was like such subtle hinting towards Yuri, like something being wrong with Yuri. Because it was like one line where the MC was like, huh, Yuri's not here. That's weird. And then they never brought it up and never showed Yuri. Like, that's the most subtle hint you can give towards something being wrong. And now it's coming to fruition later. So yeah, any other mod, I'd say Sayori doesn't have feelings. Like, she's being genuine. But this, given the mod makers in this mod, we don't know. We need to get to the bottom of that. And now, like, given this message or whatnot, or given this, you know, now, presumably, like, Yuri's having issues or whatnot. That, and then now or at least now Yuri's issues are coming to fruition too, where the MC needs to worry about them or whatnot, or like potentially deal with them. I can't believe this has happened. I've literally been saying it, because like, it was only one line. Like, which save was it? It was like, okay, it was before this. Wait, what? Yeah, it was before this. It was one line that the MC said. He's like, huh, Yuri's not here. And then they never brought it up again. But they also never showed Yuri in the club. So it's like, Yuri never showed up to the club today. Okay, no one acknowledged that. No one recognized that. What's going on? And now it's all coming to fruition. Nobody would have, like, noticed that unless, because they didn't, like, beat home the point or address it all. It was literally just one sentence by the MC saying, like, oh, Yuri's not here. And then, like, never talked about again until now. Oh my god. But yeah, leaving a group chat, that's effectively like quitting. So Yuri's leaving the club. That's an issue. Like, that's, because now, you know, the MC has to think about that too. Obviously he didn't before. I was saying this was something that was an issue. Obviously the MC didn't recognize it, or not until now at least. But yeah, now this is something on top of what he's already needs to worry about involving Monica. Now he needs to worry about Yuri. It's like, oh, like, what's going on? Why'd she leave or whatnot? Is she, like, dealing with something at the moment? And then, yeah, ultimately, like, because here's the thing. They all had linked dreams. So even though he hasn't really spent that much time with Yuri, she's still, like, at the very least, like, means something, right? Given that they've had linked dreams sequences and whatnot. So that's ultimately something he needs to take into consideration, really. Whoa, what? That's listen, I've been saying this ever since Yuri didn't show up. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Like, she didn't show up, no one acknowledged or recognized that, like, what's happening? And then now, okay, coming to fruition. Why would she just leave? You ask question, like, the MC is the king of, like, asking questions that, like, can be easily answered. like questions that, you know, kind of, I don't even, yeah, like this, I've explained why, but at the very least, like, there's another reason, like a deeper reason, as opposed to just no one, like, acknowledging that she wasn't there today, or, like, no one checking in on her or whatnot. So, yeah. Wait, where has she been? That's, okay, now he's just thinking of it. He's like, however many hours too late. I suddenly recall that I haven't even seen Yuri in 3 days. Yeah, the last time we saw her was Saturday, right, at the library. And because she wasn't there. Well, yeah, today's Monday within, like, the in-game context, right? So he hasn't seen Yuri, like, since, like, early Saturday or whatnot. So, because, yeah, she didn't show up today. And again, that's the issue. No one acknowledged or recognized that. Sayori sends what seems to be an SOS. What happened to Yuri? Why'd she leave? So, yeah, because presumably the MC was the only one to pick up on that. To pick up on the fact that Yuri wasn't there. Like, if Sayori's asking this question, presumably she didn't pick up on that Yuri wasn't there. Like, MC, he mentioned it once and then never touched it again, but at the very least he, like, mentioned it, right? So, like, presumably Sayori and, like, the others, like, especially Monica, like, if she, like, didn't mention it or whatnot, and she didn't, like, check in on Yuri, then, I mean, ultimately, like, the MC was really the only one who actually, like, props to the MC in that situation. Despite not really doing anything about it, he at the very least, like, mentioned it, or, like, you know, acknowledged it, right? I'm not sure. She's not responding to me. Okay, that's in the group chat then, right? So, yeah. So, presumably, no one else actually picked up on that but the MC, even if, like, he didn't do anything about it. At the very least, he picked it up, right? Me neither. Any luck, MC? Oh, yeah, because, Natsuki, right? Yeah, I forgot. This mod, like, I guess mod continuity between Natsuki and Yuri being friends isn't necessarily, like, true. Like, that's the take that actually a decent amount of mods have. And I've been, like, behind it ever since New Eyes, but, like, that's not something that's, like, guaranteed, like, per se or whatnot. And then the MC, does he have, we don't even know if he has, like, Yuri's number, right? Or whatnot. Jesus. Yeah, so, I mean, we don't, like we said, we don't even know if he has her number. Like, he just straight up, like, he didn't even do anything. Like, he just literally said none. Like, he didn't even, like, message her or anything. I might need to do some investigating on my own. I mean, this is actually getting interesting. This is getting really interesting. I didn't anticipate this, right? I didn't think they would go this far, because I figured, okay, we're going Monica's route, so it's likely going to be dealing with Monica and potentially Sayori, and just those two. But now that they're making Yuri sort of the forefront of, like, the picture or whatnot, that's a really interesting play. I'm really interested now. Like, really intrigued, like, where this is going to go, because it's like, okay, yeah, a Monica or Sayori route, it's likely just going to be the MC dealing with those two characters. And then vice versa, if it's a Yuri or Natsuki route, he'll just most likely be dealing with those two characters. But given that they're throwing Yuri to the forefront of the picture on a Monica route, I think that's really interesting. Like, that's going to be really interesting. And again, just throwing it out there, this was something I was worried about ever since she didn't show up. But now it's all coming to fruition, right? So, yeah. But I mean, I'm actually going to end it here. Yeah, this is so interesting. This is so intriguing. I'm really like looking forward to see where this goes. So, yep. I guess, or I'm going to transition. So, yeah, I'm transitioning now. Yeah, I mean, we'll just need to see where it goes, right? My first instinct is to text her. It's a terrible plan, but good baseline. That's why I mean, like, he said none before he even actually did anything, right? Like, because at least Monica, like, apparently, granted, given what we've seen from Monica and Fallen Angels, it's genuinely, like, she's just ignorant regarding, like, the other club members, regarding, like, sort of, I guess, I don't know, like, what would you call it? Like, what's the term? Like, she's just genuinely ignorant regarding, she doesn't really know the people she's dealing with, so, like, this seems like a very common response or whatnot, right? Like, she'd be like, oh, her having and not just even just Monica, but really the MC being the only one to actually pick up on her not being there. Granted, like, saying this again, even though he didn't actually do anything about it, at least he picked up on it. Like, we don't think anyone else did, given their sort of surprised responses. And I mean, Monica texted Yuri, but obviously, you know, it's too late. What she does now doesn't matter, given Yuri already decided to leave. Right? So, and then, yeah, I mean, because presumably, not even Sayori picked up on it. And then, yeah, I was just saying, so now he said none without even doing anything. But I mean, because we know he was the only one to pick up on it. So he's kind of in like a special position here where it's like, oh, well, I guess, did they not? Because now he's got to ask himself, did they not pick up on it? And then, like, ultimately feel bad because nobody really acknowledged that, besides him at least, even though he didn't do anything about it. Like, that Yuri wasn't really there. Like, it makes sense, right? Ultimately, if, like, no one's really going to recognize or acknowledge her or like what would you call it? Like appreciate her in a sense. Like if she's gone from the club and nothing changes, then she's asking herself, right? Like ultimately, why do I really need to be there? Like ultimately, do I bring anything? Likely not, but hey, I just saw you left the group chat. Everything good? I think if Yuri's likely to respond to people, it'd either be the MC or Natsuki, right? Depending on whether the mod takes the direction of sort of Yuri and Natsuki being good friends, right? Because if not, then the MC really is the only the only option then. And then maybe even Sayori, but not Monica. It would be between the MC, Natsuki, and Sayori. Just I hate to say it, but Monica really, she's likely not going to respond to Monica. Ultimately, given she was maybe hoping Monica would acknowledge or like check in on her, but she ultimately didn't. But the other three, maybe. Hopefully she's fine. I would hate to see her in pain. I mean, like, that's kind of what the MC needs to come to a conclusion to. Because granted, yes, he did. Again, saying this again, he did pick up on her not being there. But ultimately, he needs to recognize, like, oh, no one actually reached out to her, checked in on her. So, that may be the reason why she felt like she didn't belong. It's from Yuri. So she did respond. That's what I was saying. Like, if there's any person she responds to, it'd likely be the MC, right? School in 20... Okay, this is interesting. Because they're going to meet at school in 20 minutes. The MC better go through with this. I'm really interested and intrigued now. This is interesting. Because I thought it was going to be like, she was going to say something like, oh yeah, like, why would you care about me now? Or something like, okay, so she's like, I don't belong in the club. No one checked in on me or whatnot. But this is a really interesting response. School in 20 minutes, tell nobody. Is it even open? I guess that really doesn't matter. This is interesting. The MC better follow through. Like, if he can't tell Sayori here, because that'd be the one person he'd consider telling, but he really can't tell anyone here. Like, if anything, he tells Sayori after it, but he shouldn't tell anyone before, right? Depending on his interaction with Yuri. The response is much more cryptic than I would like it to be, but it's a lead. That's why I'm like, he needs to follow through on that. Like, on my way. Okay, good. Because if he was going to say some dumb shit like, are you sure this is the right move? Like, don't. Just do it. Like, and he better, if anything, he could tell Sayori after, but he better not tell her before. Like, that'd be the worst thing to do. Like, it's getting dark out, but this is Yuri we're talking about. It's worth a little late night. That's why I'm like, okay, this is getting really interesting and intriguing. Like, I'm really interested to see where this goes. Let's go. The night is not as cold as once before. It's quite nice, actually. In about 15 minutes, I find the door. She has it open. Oh, the school door. Right, that's why I'm like, come on. Yuri, I'll explain inside. I comply and step in the dark in school. This is interesting. This is really intriguing. I'm really excited to see where this goes. I mean, I could not have anticipated the mod taking this direction. Because, again, I thought, like, okay, Yuri not showing up, you know... Like, that's something we'll need to worry about. But I never predicted, like, it would take this direction. I thought it'd be more like, okay, like, people, like, she may not show up for a second day, and then people start to get worried, and then the MC may have to deal with her or whatnot, right? But no, this is, like, a completely different direction. Like, this is really interesting. I never expected this out of a Monica route. Like, or at least... like Monica's route in the route system. I thought, again, like I said, I thought it'd mainly be dealing between Monica and Sayori, but this sort of throwing Yuri into, like, the spot, like, or like, the picture like this is really interesting. I'm interested to see what she has to say. Thank you for coming, MC, especially at this hour. So yeah, she's wearing, like, normal clothes. I guess that's irrelevant. because I was gonna say, like, wait a second, one of his dream sequences was like in like at the school in the dark, right? But that was with him and Natsuki, not him and Yuri. So that's so I was like, wait a second, is this the same as the dream sequence? No, it's not. I'm really interested to see what she has to say, cause like, is it really just gonna be like her being like, okay, like no one checked in on me, like I don't really belong in the club, because like then this would be a bit extreme. But again, like we said, this is Yuri we're talking about, right? So it could be understandable. I'm just really intrigued, like interested in sort of to see where this goes, because like this is really unorthodox. So we're gonna like have to see what happens. Don't mention it, but how would you get in? Magic. I have my ways. She probably like lock picks. Like that's honestly that's like what I'm willing to bet it on. Like not even that she has like spare keys. I'm just that she knows how to pick locks. That won't be surprising. All right then. But why'd you bring me here? Yeah, he's like, oh, okay. I'm not gonna question further. But he's like, why though? Like why? Oh right, the issue. Surely you've noticed my absence recently. Yeah, cause was it really multiple days? I don't think it was, because it was Monday, right? Like, yeah, today is, well, now it's Tuesday, I guess, but it was only for today. Maybe she missed it on Friday, but I mean, yeah, I think it's Monday within the context of the game, so it's the first day for, like, the club or whatnot. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is, but at the very least, today's absence, right? Yeah, and then, like, again, the apparent issue to us is that, okay, nobody checked in on her, nobody acknowledged, like, recognized her absence, like, no one reached out to her, and that's why she left. But given her actions here, it could be something completely different. Like, and I wouldn't be surprised. I've been wrong before. And I mean, especially given this extreme course of action, it could legitimately be something way more serious or, like, entirely different. Yeah, everyone has. Where have you been? That's a lie. He was the only one who picked up on it. We know this. Let's go back to this reaction. These three reactions show that like none of these three have picked up on it. Like Sayori blatantly saying like asking this, like she hasn't picked up on it. Monica hasn't picked up on it. Like Natsuki maybe, but no, likely not. I don't think any of these three picked up on it. The MC's lying here. Like he really was the only one who picked up on it, and even then he didn't do anything about it. So like that's ultimately the issue. I've had my own demons to deal with. It's certainly been an arduous couple of days. That's interesting. So, because we don't know what she's referring to here, right? This is very inconspicuous. So it's not about no one having checked in on her, recognized her. It's about, yeah, so it's not taking that route. So because she's explicitly saying it's about her own issues. Presumably, like, kind social anxiety, whatever. Like, involving, like, her issues or whatnot. But yeah, so this is making it seem like, okay, it's not about the fact that basically no one noticed like her not showing up, right? Because that's an issue in and of itself, but it's not the main issue. Like that's what this is saying. And then like again, saying the MC straight up lied here. Like he was the only one who picked up on it, and even so, he didn't do anything about it. Like throwing that out there, like he straight up lied there. No one picked up on it. So demons, like legit or metaphor? Yes, legit. Okay, I'm not even gonna lie here. I think this was the dumbest thing the MC has said. I'm willing to put it out there. This is the dumbest thing he said the whole mod. Like, this is likely the dumbest thing he will say for the mod. Or, like, I don't think he can top this sentence in terms of, like, stupid questions. Like, I think this is the dumbest question he's gonna ask the whole. I don't see how he can top this sentence in terms of stupidity. Like I don't see how he like surpasses this in terms of like dumb questioning. Like legit or metaphor? Yes, legit demons. Like yes, 100% legit. Like physical, real demons. MC metaphorical. I've just had to deal with them more than usual recently. She's like, did he really just ask that? Like that's just like an insult at this point. Are the demons real? That's basically what he asked. Like, oh my god. Like, well, do you want me help with finding them? I can try my best. Yeah, at least like now he's picking up on it, right? So I don't think it'd be very beneficial, but I don't see a reason you can't try. Because again, yeah, then if she just straight up says like, no, I don't want your help, then the question is like, okay, why did she bring him here then? Like that's ultimately the issue, right? Because, yeah, her demons presumably, like, the same demons as usual she's dealing with, kindness or social anxiety. Like, one of the two. Like, it usually takes one of the two directions, right? Or maybe even both. Like, likely both, actually. But, I mean, yeah, so obviously the MC's gonna, like, deal with them, right? Or then otherwise, like, why'd she even bring them here? Like, what exactly has been happening? I've had to find a way to release my stress and pain. A form of relief that most will not turn to. Is she just gonna straight up tell him here? Because, I mean, that's probably the quickest, like, out of any mod where she's actually, like, told the MC about this, right? And we're not even going her route. Because presumably if we went her route, we'd figure out. But, I mean, we're not. So, but this is interesting. I find it really interesting that we went Monica's route and that Yuri was pretty quickly was sort of thrown to the front of the picture, right? Or that ultimately we're having this interaction between her, right? This wasn't something I could have ever, like, anticipated. Never would have. Not saying it's a bad thing. This is a really good thing. Like, this is just, like, a complete curveball. What? I have no idea what you mean. She's gonna tell him here, right? I mean, she's already alluded to it enough. I think she's gonna tell him here. This will probably overwhelm you, MC. I think I can take it. I don't get why the MC says this thing. It's like, whenever someone says, I have a question, and he says, I have an answer, like, you don't know that. And then now she's saying, this will probably overwhelm you. And he's like, I think I can take it. Because we know what she's going to say, right? The MC's not going to take it. Like, throwing that out there, he's not going to take it. He'll be like, you're joking, right? Like, I guarantee that's what his first sentence after is going to be. Okay, don't say I didn't warn you. She's like, I highly doubt that. It's like, MC, since I've had these recurring thoughts of guilt and lust, I've turned to a sharp edge. I guarantee he's going to be like, what do you mean? Like, I look at her in bewilderment. What the hell does that mean? He's like, I'm not following. Oh my god. Yuri, I'm not good at reading between the lines. I need you to be direct. Like, she's literally gonna be like, I take a knife, just cut my own skin. Like, that's what she needs to tell him. Any other, like, way he won't get it. Just don't overreact, okay? I guarantee he's gonna, like, faint or something. I won't. I highly doubt that. I've been using a knife to help my pain go away. He's gonna be like, I don't follow. He's still gonna be like, I'm not good at it. I guarantee he's gonna say something like that. He's gonna be like, I don't follow. Like, I'm not following here. Like, okay, so at least he made the jump, right? Because, like, I honestly, I would have not, like, it wouldn't have surprised me if the MC said something like, okay, I don't follow. Like, but yeah, now at least, you know, he's making the ultimate jump and he's sort of hit it on the nose, right? So now he knows. So at least, like, presumably, given he stated it directly, like, he's actually not going to overreact. Because, I mean, if he would have, then as soon as the thought comes in, he would have been like, there's no way you cut yours. Like, you wouldn't do that. Like, yes. No. I use the handle, not the blade. Yuri. What's he even going to say here? Okay, like, please don't say something stupid. I mean, that's what we need to bank on. Like, he wouldn't say something, like, this isn't the right time for him to say something stupid. This is interesting, though. Like, this is so intriguing. I never thought if we would have picked Monica's route, we'd ultimately end up dealing with Yuri's issues. Much less me in the first. But, like, having Yuri sort of thrown to the forefront, like, front of the picture or whatnot, right? Ultimately, like, us needing to worry about her or this, or, like, that's really interesting. That's really intriguing. Like, I think that's a really good take on it. Because, I mean, obviously, you know, given the MC's recent failure regarding Monica or whatnot, ultimately he's going to get with her in the end, right? Because this is Monica's route. I mean, that'd just do her dirty if, like, she had a route and he didn't even get with her on that, right? So, like, but having to deal with Yuri's issues, I think that's a really interesting take. That's something I would have never predicted a Monica route to have, right? She looks at me with sincere horror. He says something like, you're a freak. Forgive me. I shouldn't have said anything. Well, I mean, it's better that she does, right? Like, as opposed to, like, just not say anything and then eventually people just, like, interrogate her until, like, she gives the answer or whatnot. Because, yeah, at least now the MC knows the truth. Because then the question we need to ask ourselves is, does anyone else know? Because I know, Relapse actually took the sort of direction or angle that Natsuki knew about Yuri's issues even before the MC and didn't reveal that until later. But, like, now we need to ask the same question. Does anyone else know? I think likely not. Like, likely not, I would say. Like, maybe during Yuri's route, but no, I don't think anyone else would know. So, this is something that the MC has to deal with now, right? Like, because now he knows, okay, this is why she's been missing, because she's been busy with that or whatnot. Yeah, I mean, and ultimately, given she's busier, like, not even just like, because it's not busy with that or whatnot, it's like, because it's not even necessarily about the kind directly, right? It's about the withdrawals, right? If she can't show up to the club because she's like, she can't function properly without like cutting herself or whatnot, right? Like that's the main issue, presumably, or that's presumably why she hasn't been showing up to the club, not because she has hour-long cutting sessions. That's not the case. Like it's ultimately she can't function properly without it. She turns and runs down the hall to the exam. Frozen in conclusion. Okay, so like, but here's the thing though. She told him, right? So there's no going back at this point. Like she can run all she wants, but there's no going back. Like, and the MC has her number too, right? So it's like, he really is in no worry here. Like he'll eventually reconvene, like reconnect with her, right? What the hell? What is he like surprised? He's like, huh? I didn't expect that. He's like, Yuri, this is literally the exact same situation. She's gone. He literally just like stood there while she was running. Like he is like the slowest acceleration in existence. I just don't get it. Why would she do that? Why would she run? I wasn't hostile. Was I? He needs to recognize who he's dealing with here. I mean, the moon shines bright in the corridor windows. I gotta get home. The dark proves to be quite the challenge as I bump into at least 5 walls on my way out. What if he's locked in school? That'd be funny. Do the others know about Yuri? Do they even know that she's alive? I mean, that'd be a pretty, like, big conclusion if they just assumed she was dead after, like, leaving the group chat. I mean, like, I don't really even know what he means by that. But, I mean, the first question, obviously, they know he's referring to, like, her kind or whatnot, right? Whether they know about her habit. I think likely not. The only mod that had the take where, okay, others knew about it was Reaps. And even then, it was only Natsuki. So, yeah, I told you I wouldn't tell anybody, but this is something serious. I don't think he even tells Sayori here. He shouldn't tell anyone. He should try and get back into contact with her if anything. Like he shouldn't like tell Sayori. Like that actually be like that because I mean it makes sense, but at the end of the day he can't like go back on his promise or whatnot, right? Because if he tells Sayori, then the risk is it makes its way to everyone else, right? So, and given Yuri's not really in the club anymore, like she left the group chat or whatnot, like no, he doesn't tell anyone here. That's the right move. I need to tell at least Sayori and Monica to get them to stop worrying. That's not, no. I mean, no, that's not the move. Because that's basically, he can't solve Yuri's issues if, he betrays her trust. Like, the instant he learns about, like, her issues or whatnot. Like, that's not the move here. Like, throwing that out there, not the move. Because the question is, okay, like, because here's the thing. This is, in a sense, a selfish move, right? Because he's saying, okay, I'm willing to betray Yuri's trust to tell Sayori and Monica to get them to stop worrying. Like, that's very selfish on his part if he's worried about Sayori or Monica in this situation. Because this isn't even in regards to, like, them sort of helping Yuri. This is regards to them worrying. Them worrying is irrelevant to Yuri's situation. Like, they can worry all they want. That doesn't matter. Like, this would ultimately be selfish if you were to tell them in order to ease their comfort, right? At the expense of betraying Yuri's trust. Because that's what it comes down to. Does that count as breaking the promise? Yes. Because at least if he had the mentality, okay, so Sayori or Monica could potentially help her, that wouldn't be as bad. But if he's just going to tell them to get them to stop, like that's like the most selfish thing in existence. Like, I mean, because their worrying's irrelevant. Like, that doesn't matter. That's not the concern. Because they could, like, that's irrelevant, not the concern, really. The concern is dealing with Yuri's issues, and he can't deal with them if he immediately breaks, like, her promise, right? That is breaking the promise. All this responsibility is making my head hurt. Don't tell him I'll just talk to Yuri tomorrow. Try to clear some things up. That's true. The best thing you can do is just try and get into contact with her again. Collapsing on my bed, I assure myself of my plan. Because this is taking a really interesting turn. Because we know, okay, he's not in the best position in regards to Monica. However, I think, in a sense, that's not really the worry. Because, obviously, even, like, even disregarding what the MC knows, the other girls, like Monica especially, she's not really concerned about the MC anymore. Her attention is turned to Yuri. So in a sense, the MC, like, making up with Monica or whatnot, like, that's that's not really an issue. Like, they'll likely make up, and they'll be like, okay, whatever situation between us is irrelevant right now, like, compared to Yuri. So, in a sense, we don't need to worry about the MC making up with Monica, right? The worry is, okay, what does the MC do involving Yuri? Because if she legitimately, like, is not going to rejoin the club, like, ultimately then, you know, it's entirely up to the MC to solve her issues, right? So we can't definitely betray her trust, especially at just the convenience of Monica and Sayori, right? So he needs to get back into contact with her and try and do anything he can to, like, sort of help, basically. The focus is now shifted from Monica to Yuri. Despite it being a Monica route, ultimately, like, the focus is now Yuri, given she was thrown to the forefront of, like, the picture or whatnot. So that's really interesting, though, now that they introduced sort of Yuri's issues into the Monica route. That's, again, not saying that's a bad thing. That's a really good thing. This was a really good turn of the mod or whatnot. It's just something that you can't really anticipate. Yeah, let's do that. Quite the day you had. Bro, like, subconsciously, literally, shut up. Like, he literally doesn't do anything now. There's no point for him to exist. Like, why is he even here? Like, just the Monica papers, the Yuri exchange. Like, the Monica papers don't even, like, that literally straight up doesn't even matter anymore. That's irrelevant. Because, like I've said, you know, Monica and the MC will be like, okay, whatever situation between us is irrelevant compared to Yuri, right? Like, they'll just be like, let's put this on hold until we figure out what's going on with Yuri. It seems you're split on what to do. Something tells me you have to leave one be and figure out the other. But here's the thing, though, right? Yuri, because, like, we need to look at this from Monica's perspective, right? Yuri leaving the club, like, presumably just on a whim, is a bigger issue for her than ultimately how the MC feels about her. It's going to be sort of a mutual thing between the MC and Monica, recognizing, okay, I've said this, like, a few times, like, many times, like, well, I've actually just been repeating it, but they'll be like, okay, whatever situation between us, irrelevant until we figure out what's going on with Yuri. So we can fix Yuri's issues while Monica and the MC sort of kind of ignore theirs and put their issues on hold. But if we focus on Monica, Yuri's just gonna, like, downward spiral until she, like, dies or whatnot. We'll see. Do we actually have to choose between solving them? Okay, thanks for telling me. So it is, okay, so that was Monday. That's the confirmation, right? Okay, at least he's, like, speaking, like, sentences when he's waking up. A sense of curiosity from yesterday ingrains itself into my mind. I need answers, for everyone's sake. The process of putting on my uniform is awful as usual. I wish I could just wear some sweatpants one day. Imagine needing to wear a uniform to school. Wishful thinking overloads my mind as I make my way downstairs and outside. Lock the door. Shut the gate. So he doesn't even do anything in the morning now. He's like, his entire morning routine just out the door. It's like, okay, uniform on, school, I'm gonna head out. Like, 3... Good morning, MC. How was your night? Okay, so the MC better not spill the beans to Sayori. I mean, also forgot volume was lower. That's not the move. MC spilling the beans to say, like, I don't think the MC tells Sayori here. I don't think that's the move. Like, I really think, okay, if he tells Sayori, then the risk is she tells everyone else, and then the MC betrays Yuri, breaks her promise. Because ultimately, given Yuri's not a part of the club, the MC really is the only one who can solve it, right? So he shouldn't go and jeopardize his sort of, like, picture to Yuri. Because if Yuri figures out, okay, yeah, he basically told Sayori, then that's ultimately just taints, like, the MC's picture in her mind. She's like, I trusted you, like, not to tell anyone. Like, he doesn't tell anyone here. Like, I'm saying that. He doesn't, as opposed to, you know, him telling Sayori about Monica, which made sense, given she already knew, like, how he felt. Like, he doesn't tell anyone here about Yuri. It was alright. Yours? I had a happy dream. Good for you. She's having happy thoughts, right? I really want to say this is genuine Sayori, but it could still be a facade. That's still ultimately a thought in our mind, right? That's great. What was it about? That's a secret. You can't do this, and I mean, it was about the MC, right? I mean, obviously. It was alluded to that she wrote her poem about him, right? And that would have been real funny if he actually read it, and he's like, huh. Well, I guess that makes two of us, right? Writing poems about our people, but yeah, I mean, so this is clearly about the MC. I mean, I want to say this isn't a facade. I want to, but I mean, I don't know. We won't know until later if they do reveal it to be a facade or whatnot. I'm too tired to dig for the story. How convenient. Alright, I'll leave it to you. But don't you want to know? she's like, she's like, wow, that's surprisingly dismissive. Like, she at least thought he'd, like, inquire. You just said it was a secret. It is, but it's a secret, but it's not that big of a secret. You know, it's like a secret. Oh, it's one of those situations. She wants you to ask about it. Well, good job for realizing after she just straight up told you, like, okay, what happened? Glad you asked. Everyone was in it. Okay, so everyone? So, like, including Yuri. You, Monica, Yuri, Natsuki. So Yuri was in it. We were on a beach. The day was full of sunshine. Everything was perfect. And what's next? Oh, we're also like 10 years older. What? So the wait, what? This is like a completely arbitrary factor. So they're all like what? 28 then? I think that sounds cool. Did anything else happen? Not that I can remember. It was just a lot of fun. Something else did happen then, right? So that's awesome. Let's go. Time is a little close today. We don't even know what time we woke up. She nods and grabs my arm. The walk to school is full of blissful morning breeze. Let's see. Well, I think we best get going. Being late is never a good thing. Because he hasn't, so apparently no one texted him last night. Because if, you know, they did, then he would recognize, then, like, you know, he would say, like, oh, I got a text. And then presumably no one texted this morning. I would have said, like, okay, MC texts maybe even both Yuri and Monica this morning, like, just on their own, like, not in the, well, obviously he can't text Yuri in the group me, but at the very least he can text Yuri something along the lines of, like, oh, if you need, like, saying, like, why'd you run away from me? Like, that'd probably be the best thing to say, or, like, it's like, why'd you run away from me? Like, no, he should say something like, I'm gonna keep it a secret or whatnot, like, I'm not going to tell anyone, just to reassure her that, you know, because that may have been her worry, right? That he would have ultimately told everyone. But if he's, like, reiterating that point, like, I'm not going to tell anyone. Like, you don't need to worry about that. Like, that's the very least he can do. And then regarding Monica, he can say something like, okay, like, let's put whatever we've got on hold until we figure out Yuri, right? That's probably the best thing to sort of redirect it to Yuri. Because the subconscious is making us think, okay, we need to choose between Yuri and Monica here, but that's ultimately a false dichotomy, right? Like, the MC can just put whatever he has with Monica on hold, and they can probably mutually recognize that, you know, until they figure out Yuri's problem. That's the bigger issue right here, and I think that's ultimately feasible. I don't think it's a choice, but yeah, I'm actually going to end it here on, that was really interesting. Like, this was a really interesting turn of events, like, in this mod or whatnot, right? Like, that was ultimately really interesting. Like, yeah, that's really interesting. Like, just being 100% honest. Like, I never, like, I'm not even sure, like, anyone could possibly anticipate this out of a Monica route. Yuri route makes sense. Monica route, that now we're getting into it. Like, this is really interesting, like, intriguing take, but yeah, I'm gonna end it here, so, yep, guess that's it for today. See you in the next one.